So, as we said, generally speaking, the only thing I think in setup that we really see now is grip pressure's been quite tight. When you're bringing your arms, it's almost like you could barely move your thumbs. Your thumbs are on that club. They shouldn't be squeezing on, so your nails are going red and your knuckles are going white there, okay? So nice and loose, which will certainly help the movement that we're trying to produce here on the way back. So this left-hand one in now. This is the first few swings you're making. Up the top of the back, so you can see here now as you're going back, there's a movement towards that ball. The arms over the top. I mean, that club now, if there's a wall behind you, you're nowhere near it. The club's up here now. It's moving off the wall. Just before impact, we can see... Just before impact, we can see that club now is coming across the ball massively. So you get one of three things. Either a massive pull left, a shank off to the right there, or a big old slice. Right. One of those three things is going to be the likely case of what you're going to get and stuff. So we got to get the sensation when you get to the top of the backswing here now, the arms feel like they're just going downwards this way. So the club now can work more this way and then come into the ball more in that direction. So those one-arm swings that we were doing there, again, nice and casual, put your left hand in your pocket if you wanted to. Just make a few swings where you feel you're setting your elbow and your wrist, get a little bit more kind of softening, hinging, and just, again, a swish of that club. Take away that kind of hitting mentality, because what happens is when you swing it like this on the left-hand side, you start losing energy, losing power and distance. So if the ball's not going as far as you want it to, and from sort of 7-9 up, they're all going the same distance, you'll then try and hit it harder with that right shoulder. The problem is then it sacrifices the quality of strike. The shot then goes all over the place, which then loses even more distance, and now you're going in a sort of vicious circle, getting worse and worse, just trying too hard. Hence why you go from like 104 to 120, So if we look at this way on the right-hand side, as the club's coming down now, as the arms start falling, we see the club just before impact here now. Come here. Much more in line with the target there. So that club is now in this direction, okay? Now, post-impact on this shot, we'll see, as you swung through, you hit it all right, the ball then sort of striking middle part of the screen a bit to the left, the foot then steps forward, so you end up kind of coming around this way. That is usually a sign you're trying to hit it with that right shoulder still a little bit too much, okay? So you've got to get that sensation. That right shoulder is staying back as the arms fall. So we're still turning, and you correctly said I'm turning, and on the way back, we've got to keep that turn basically intact as the arms fall. Don't turn too quickly on the way through. And I think people get in their mind that they must turn to create speed and power. You coil on the way back. The arms have got to fall first, and then the turn kind of comes in, and you're as a feeling, okay? What basically happened is you had all the moving parts in the golf swing in the wrong sequence, like trying to change gear before putting the clutch in, You had the unhinging, you had the twisting, you had the arms dropping, but the turn was coming in first, then the arms drop, then you unhinged it, and then it was all going in the wrong order, What we've got to try and do is we turn, drop, unwind, unhinge. What you had was turn, unturn, hinge, and then drop. So they were there, they just weren't in the right sequence. So the sort of the efficiency of the way you were hitting it was way down. And what happened is you'll get to a point where if you're losing speed, which obviously you would have been, you'll find there'll be a max club in your bag, like a 7 or a 6 or an 8, where it's got enough loft and enough length of shaft to get the ball going somewhere. So you might lose 5-10 yards based on what you know you can do with that. But every club going down the bag that's getting longer and less lofted is losing more and more percentage of yardage, because if you haven't got enough club edge speed to get the ball up in the air and stay in the air, the hybrids, the 5-irons and the longer clubs just fall out the sky quicker. They haven't got enough speed. This is why they go the same yardage. Exactly, I mean, there might be what you'll find is they'll play like 3 or 4 yards different rather than 10 yards. So there's still a little gap. It's so close. It's like, what's the point? So you're losing that speed with the club, and the ball just goes and falls out the sky rather than sort of staying in the air like the last one there. Okie dokie. So better turn, let the arms just fall and drop a bit more. Take that speed to the golf ball rather than unhinging it too early and from the top. Looser grip definitely has to be a benefit. Okay, buddy?
Paul said that you